Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Tori here at Praying Hands and Walking Feet, the channel where we're finding our way without a compass or a map. Today I want to come to you about how do we get our kids to go through their toys? How do we get them to give things away? How do we get them to throw away those little broken pieces? How do we get them to figure out what they actually play with and what they actually want to keep? I know that this topic could have so many different answers for so many different people and so many different walks of life, but it's something that a lot of parents struggle with because the kids keep getting things because they keep having birthdays and we keep having Christmas and gift giving occasions, or maybe they earn some money and they get to buy things of their own. But do we have a way for all those things to leave our house is the big question, because one minute it's okay and it's fine, and the next minute you turn around and your basement is overrun with toys and games and books and all sorts of things, and you feel like you're drowning in kid stuff. So today, let's just dive right into what are some strategies? How could we do this? How can we help them learn the skills to be able to really decide what to keep, what to give, and what is worth throwing away, really? So I have been doing this with our kids for a long time. Now, when they were little toddlers, I would do toy rotations. So I would have a big Rubbermaid bin, and that would have a bunch of different toys in it, all different types, some cars, some blocks, some puzzles, all different types in the bin. And I would keep that bin in the laundry room. And so they would have their regular toys that are out, but when I would see them start to get bored with them and not really play with them, I would change them out. I would bring out the bin from the laundry room and I would put some toys from the family room, from their play area, and fill that bin and recycle them away. And after I saw that they weren't playing with certain toys for a while, I would just get rid of those toys because they clearly weren't favorites. They weren't interesting to them. But now that they're older, my youngest is almost 8, so I don't need to do the toy rotation anymore. They kind of know what they gravitate towards, but with this growing in age, they also like to hold on to things. They know what they like, they know what is theirs, and they don't want it to go away, and they don't want it hidden, and they want to know where it is. So we are in the process of spring cleaning and downsizing and going through everything. So I just wanted to jump on and just kind of let you know some of the things that we've been doing here to help the kids go through all of their things. So first of all is we didn't make it one day. We're not trying to tackle the entire play area or basement or bedroom in one day, because that honestly that's hard for me to wrap my brain around doing, let alone them as children. How would they wrap their brain around doing that? So I think that it might be a better option to just small things, just baby steps will get you there. You can eat an elephant one bite at a time. That's kind of the method that we're taking. So one day I asked them to go through all of the books on the bottom 2 shelves. And so we went through, our bookshelf has 5 shelves. We went through the bottom 2 shelves, and it was so easy. I didn't put any parameters, honestly, on how many books they could keep or how many they had to give away. I just said, I just want you to go through them and pick out the books that don't really excite you, that you don't really read that often, or that you don't want to read again. And that was so easy for them that then they saw, oh, well, this isn't really that hard. We can do the next shelf. And so we just did as much as they honestly had stamina for. And then I had this nice stack of books that I could donate or sell or whatever I wanted to do to get them out of my house. And it wasn't fighting. I wasn't arguing with them. There was no animosity. There were no tears. It was all done with ease. And so I was like, okay, great. That worked. Let's see how this works with games. So we took our games. We have a huge game closet. So we took all of our games and we pulled them all out, and first we looked at them and we had to look and see, did we have all the pieces to the games? Now, being a former teacher, that is something that I am a little bit OCD about, is I like my books to not be bent. I like my games to have all the pieces and be put back in the box every time. That's just one of my little quirks, is I really like to keep things, those kinds of things, organized and in place. And so we only had maybe 1 or 2 games that didn't have pieces that were necessary to the game. And so then I was like, okay, these don't have the pieces we need to play, so these are easy. They can just go. And if we want to ask for them or add them on wish lists for later because we like those games, great, we can do that. But we went through the games, and again, the same discussion. Which ones are easy to give away? Which ones don't we play with? Which ones do you think are a little too babyish for you now at this age? And they were able to come up with a whole stack of games. Again, it was not hard. There were no tears. There were some discussions between them as to, one kid thought it was a great game and they wanted to keep it, and the others didn't and didn't know why we couldn't just toss it. But I just leaned into, let's just keep it simple. This is just our first going through. This is just our first go round. So if someone wants to keep it, we'll keep it. And we still ended up with a big pile of games that they were willing to let go. So then we just carried this whole process along through toys, through Hot Wheels cars, through Magna-Tiles, through those marble run things. Really, we just went kind of thing by thing, grouping by grouping of toys. And then now we're at the point where we're cycling through. This is probably our 2nd or 3rd time cycling through. And let me tell you, it gets easier for them every time. This week, all I really had to do was I said, okay, I want you to go through and bring me 3 different types of things that you're ready to give away, to sell, to donate, whatever, that you're done playing with. Now, I will tell you that I have some very, very smart children, and my daughter decided that she would bring me 3 little Shopkins, like the individual little Shopkins. I was like, okay, great. I'm so glad you have such a great imagination and that you are thinking so outside the box, but you know exactly what I meant. She goes, I know, I just thought it was funny. So then she came back and she had this entire thing full up. These are all the ones that she was ready to get rid of, that she doesn't play with anymore. And then she goes, oh, Mom, that wasn't so hard. And so then she went through all of her Hatchimals, the next thing. And she said, oh, I don't really play with these ones anymore. I want to keep the ones that go with this or whatever. And she had specific ones that she pulled out. But this is amazing. We had this whole pile ready to go. And so by doing this little by little, I'm not fighting them. They're not feeling like I'm taking things away from them. And honestly, they're kind of excited about who they're giving things to. My youngest, he finally decided that he was ready to get rid of his Transformers, like the preschool Transformers. And he thought of a little boy that we know, and he goes, oh my gosh, he would love those. Mom, can you call his mom and can we give these to him? Because he would really like these. And so we did, and it was amazing. That other little boy loves them. Oh my gosh, his mom was like the hero of the day when she had those at preschool pickup ready for him. And my daughter, same thing. She picked out which Shopkins that she knew the neighbor girls would love. And so she went through and she picked out a little bag just for them. And then the other, she's like, I don't care what you do with those, Mom. So all of these skills, all of these taking it bite-sized pieces and just little by little. Sometimes as a mom, it feels like I'm not really making progress. I'll be perfectly honest with you. It feels like we're still not there, that we haven't finished like our spring cleaning or our downsizing or our minimalism. But there's been no animosity. There's been no tears. There's been no feeling like I'm taking things away from them or like they're deprived or like they then need to get more to fill that void or anything like that. So I'm thinking maybe this whole smaller pieces is a good idea. Now, when we've done the smaller pieces 2 or 3 times, I do believe in that whole, I think it's Marie Kondo who wants you to get all of your things out and to really see how much you have and to decide if that's really the amount that you really want to manage and that you really want to have. Because I know from following like the Minimalist Mom and things like that, the amount of inventory you have of certain things weighs on your brain space. And as moms, our brain space, like we need it. That's prime real estate right there. And so I do, once we've done this, probably one more time of going through all of those different groupings of things, I will kind of pull everything out together, pull all the books out together and go, okay, guys, is this really all, like, do we really want to manage this amount of books? And then what's the best way to manage them? And we'll do one last call through and then be done with it. And then we're good because we've gone through it 3 or 4 times, but it's been small. And these going throughs take the kids literally less than 30 minutes to go through. And you can direct them or not. Like with my daughter, I said, okay, I just want 3 things. Just 3. Go through 3 groups, bring me whatever you don't want. Now my son, I did direct the youngest one. I said, okay, Hot Wheels cars and monster trucks. Go through the Hot Wheels cars and monster trucks. That's what I want you to go through today. But you don't have to. If your kids don't need that and they can just come to you with things, or maybe you just set it as, I want you to fill this bin. Sometimes I've done that strategy too. All right, guys, today our goal is to find enough things that we don't use, that we're not playing with in our house, that can fill this bin, because we need this bin to leave the house because we have too much stuff and it's kind of stressing all of us out. So what strategies do you use? I'm so excited to hear. Do you do something different? Or are you one of those parents who just does it all after the kids go to bed? Now, if you followed our channel at all, you know that that is not the type of parent that I am. I know that that might be easier sometimes, but I am a firm believer in equipping our children with the skills that they need for life. And so I want them to be able to learn, and for me to help walk them through the process of, do I actually use this? Do I need it? Could someone else use it or need it more than me? Those kinds of things. I want them to learn at an early age how to walk through that, so that then when they have their own houses, they are not inundated with stuff. They actually just keep what they use and what they like and what they need. So I'm so excited to hear what ideas you have. Drop them in the comments below, and be looking for some more videos on minimalizing, decluttering, getting down to just the basics, because they're coming your way. Thanks for stopping by.